Hi guys, Model Muffet here. How you doing? I've been asked recently by a couple of people about whether to go for a PlayStation 4 or whether to go for a PC. So yeah, that's the conversation here. Now, from the outset, I'll say that I don't think there actually is a definitive answer. Next gen consoles are good, but they're not as good as we were hoping. Certainly not in their current state. The first year of having a PlayStation 4, very disappointing. Very disappointing, I have to say. Has nowhere near met up to my expectations. User interface is horribly slow. Don't get me wrong, they're not bad, and the games that are running on them are good, and some of them look really nice. But there's no generational leap there. Right? So why would somebody want, say, a PlayStation 4 over a PC? Now, for a lot of people, it's far easier for them to just bung a console in the living room next to their HD TV, and that's it. You know, job done. They get good gaming, they get a comfortable seat, they've got a nice big television. And it's a very sort of easy solution, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So if that is your main factor, like where do you want to actually play your games, and you have only one big television in the house, and that's where you want to do it, a console is a good way to go. On Steam there is something called Big Picture Mode, which is designed as a user interface for using a controller and for having it on a big television. And there are a lot of games that run very well using a controller. I play a lot of games on my PC using a PS4 controller, and it works fine. It works fine. It's a little bit off-putting sometimes when I'm playing a game and I'm getting sort of Xbox controller props up rather than the PlayStation 4 controller props, but you can get used to that sort of thing. Now, one of the things that I guess that is going to bring this to the front is this whole debacle with Assassin's Creed Unity. And there's a lot of bullshit being given by Ubisoft on this. Initially, they said that they were holding back one console to avoid debates and stuff, which has started one of the biggest debates I've ever seen. So that was a bit of a fail there. And then they're saying that no, that they're putting it at 30 frames per second because it gives a more cinematic feel, and it's it goes more in line with their vision, which again kind of strikes me as crap, because I don't think it's going to be 30 frames per second on a PC. I think on a PC it's going to be, if you've got a good PC, it's going to be total high resolution and 120 frames per second. You know what I mean? This game that I'm playing here, Nosgoth, it's an early beta game. It's in closed beta, and I can run this at up to 240 frames per second. I have it locked at 60 frames per second because that's fine. But it just goes to show, I guess, the differences. This game could run fine on a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One. I don't see any reason why it couldn't, apart from the fact that it's not being made for the consoles yet. It might get made for consoles at some point in the future. But that brings me to another point about PC games, is there's actually a lot more available. Now, for a certain period of time, it was seeming that there was going to be far more games available for consoles than there was for PC. But over the last couple of years, it seems that PCs are kind of catching up in terms of popularity. And Steam, for example, will show millions of users on at any given time, up to about 7 million, I think, users on any given time. So PCs are starting to dominate again, perhaps in terms of popularity. So which is the way to go? Now, I don't know. I still don't know. When we're playing this game, occasionally, myself and the people that I play with get the feeling that people are using hacks. How true it is, we don't know. We do know that hacks are available for this game. How much they're getting used, we don't know. It's an entire discussion in itself. But one thing for certain is that the closed architecture on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 certainly makes it much more difficult to put hacks on them. So that is something that is in favour. I'll also say that if you're used to playing a controller, going back to a mouse and keyboard is actually quite more difficult. And if you want to carry on playing with a controller and you're playing against PC guys, you're going to be at a disadvantage. You know, there's no aim assist to speak of on PC games when you're using a controller, and it is more difficult to aim fluidly, so you are going to be at a disadvantage. So if a controller is your preferred medium, and certainly for games like first-person shooters, you're probably better off playing on a console. If, however, you are comfortable with a mouse and keyboard, you're probably better off going on a PC. I am starting to play more and more PC games and less on my PlayStation 4. I was intending originally to get Unity on the PlayStation 4, but now I'm going to be getting it on the PC. And realistically speaking, I'm going to be getting a better experience. I'm still going to be playing with my controller. And you know, it's a co-op game, so I don't have to worry about hacks and stuff like that. I'll just be playing it with friends. And I'm going to get a better experience, and it's going to cost me half the price. In fact, less than half the price. I've pre-ordered Assassin's Creed Unity for, I think it was £26. Might have been £26.99, can't remember. And you know, PlayStation 4, if you go for a download on it, it's like about £55, something like that. It's you know, it's a massive difference. And I'm really yet to be convinced that there's any justification for charging more on a PlayStation or an Xbox than there is for a PC. So what is the future? I don't know. For me, like I say, I'm going for more and more the PC games. I have them set up in a gaming room where I actually do have a 50-inch HD TV in that room as well, so I can very easily play PC games using a PlayStation 4 controller and watch them on a big screen television when it's suitable. If I'm doing sort of first-person shooter games where I need to use the mouse and keyboard, well, yeah, then I'm just on a about a 17-inch monitor, possibly 19-inch, I don't know. It's significantly smaller than my 50-inch television, but it's still not bad. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here just because this is the end of this video. If you have any questions about whether to go PC or console, do put them down, get your opinions down there, and I'll maybe do a follow-up depending on what questions come. This is Muppet out, take it easy, ciao!